未来洗联储还 HDO 洗币会别人抢着来成为国家流通的货币。接下来被国家认可、主权认可、主权流通，甚至大的这沼泽地控制的金融计算流通，这是一定会发生的。
We are the new citizens of NFSC. Our mission is to take down the evil CCP. Welcome to our crypto news talk. I'm True007.
And I'm Lily. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, and please be notified that any views expressed in our program, okay, it's our personal opinion only. It should not take into account that guide anyone's investment decisions. So all listeners listen to our program should take their own independent research and ask for their own financial advisors for their own decision making. So we waive our liabilities for any consequences should you take any action upon from our program. Thank you. And today we are going to talk about, okay, so various things. And I'm going to handle this to our director and also Lily. Please, your first one, it will be, what is the crypto exchange, I think. Yes, go ahead.
Well, crypto exchange. What is a crypto exchange? A crypto exchange is a platform on which you can buy and sell cryptocurrency. And yeah.
Yes. So what is? Yes, of course.
And what are the three main types of crypto exchanges?
Okay, there's three. Okay, the number one is a so-called centralized exchange. Centralized cryptocurrency exchange act as an intermediary between a buyer and a seller and make money throughout commission and transaction fees. They are similar to traditional stock exchange. That's the first type. Second type is called decentralized exchange. What is decentralized exchange? Decentralized exchange is another type of exchange that allows peer-to-peer transaction directly from your digital wallet without going through an intermediary. And number three, combine both, called hybrid exchange. The hybrid exchange, okay, which is known to be the next generation crypto trading marketplace. They aim to merge between, okay, the benefits of both centralized and decentralized exchanges. And more specifically, hybrid seeks to provide functionality and the liquidity of a centralized, okay, exchange with the privacy and security of a decentralized exchange. So what is the Himalaya exchange, Lily?
Well, Himalaya exchange is the world's first true cryptocurrency ecosystem. It combines the world-class financial services, crypto expertise, and credibility with regulated, transparent, and secure crypto exchange. It's first class, I would say. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. So we're going to talk about the FXT. It's a major event in the next scene. Okay, so director, please going next. Okay.
Okay. I think this is this yours or mine?
Yeah, go ahead, Lily, about FXT's
Okay.
major event.
Yes, today we are going to cover about FXT and what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, and we're going to run through the timeline. The timeline from November the 8th, 2022, FXT halted all non-fiat customer withdrawals. Binance CEO, CZs, and SBF reached an agreement to acquire the the non-US branch of FTX. On the 9th of 2022, Binance withdraw from the deal. On the 10th of November, SBF tweeted that the platform saw a $5 billion in withdrawal on November the 6th of November, following the rumors on November 11th. FTX and FTX US branch filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and freeze the withdrawals that saw its wallets empty in an apparent hack. So, yeah. And then continuing on the 14th of November, Financial Times published FTX balance sheet. And on the 17th of November, John Ray, the new FTX CEO, painted a picture of FTX that is very dire financial situation in a court filing. Over to you, 007.
Okay. On the 20th of December, Bahama authorities arrested Sam Bankman-Fried at the request of the US government. By the 19th of December 2022, SBF reportedly agreed to extradition to US. Then 3 days later, 2 executives linked to the collapse cryptocurrency exchange FXT have pleaded guilty to multiple criminal charges, according to unpublished court reports. Lily.
Okay, moving on to the next PPT. Let's look at what FTX events have unfolded. FTX was the second largest cryptocurrency exchange, and it's now in Chapter 11 bankruptcy with over 1 million creditors. John Ray, the bankruptcy practitioner from Enron, has been appointed as CEO in his initial finding that this is the worst bankruptcy case than Enron. Okay, and it is the biggest accounting fraud in the US history. John Ray's initial summary of his finding at FTX that he gave to US House hearing last week. The collapse of the group appears to stem from the absolute concentration of control in the hands of a small group of extremely inexperienced and immature individuals who fail to implement virtually any system of control that are necessary for the company entrusted with other people's money or asset. This is a criminal activity, and it looks likely that FTX was built on fraud rather than proper financial system. This is really bad news for FTX, for Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay, now.
Okay, well, we'll talk about the arrest of Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested in Bahamas on the 12th, Monday, 2022, charged with 8 counts of fraud related to 4 areas of misconduct. Sam Bankman-Fried defrauded investors out of $1.8 billion. And SEC charges Samuel Bankman-Fried with defrauding investors in crypto asset trading platform FTX. Next one. According to the SEC, since at least May 2019, Bahamas-based FTX has raised more than $1.8 billion from equity investors. That
Next
including
PPT,
about.
please, Director, next PPT. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, okay. And that including about 1.1 billion from about 90 US investors. That's a huge, okay, 1.8 billion equity investors. So next PPT, please. And Lily is going to share US Financial Stability Oversight Council urges congressional action on cryptos, please.
Yes. Just hang on. I will just grab the US official. The as it is such a big financial fraud in the history of US, the US Financial Stability Oversight Council urges congressional action over the cryptocurrency market. Okay. They have recommended that the US lawmaker to pass legislation aimed at addressing regulatory gaps in cryptocurrency market activity. It is in its annual report released on December 16, the FSOC recommended that members of Congress pass legislation granting federal financial regulators explicit rulemaking authorities over the spot market for cryptocurrency. It is also noted that the token previously identified as security would be exempt. The Commission also notes a real lack of comprehensive regulatory framework in the US, specifically addressing the visibility and oversight of stablecoin and cryptocurrency companies. There's a lot of job to do in terms of regulation in the cryptocurrency.
Indeed. Yeah, indeed. Director, next slides, please. So SEC, CFTC, and SDNY Alternatives Office charges FTX Sam Bankman-Fried with defrauding investors. And the SEC said that in a press release that in addition to being charged with fraud regarding FTX equity investors, he is also being investigated for other securities law violations. Note that the investigations are ongoing with other relevant persons. Damian Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, announced that former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was charged in 8-count indictment that includes fraud, money laundering, and campaign finance. Campaign finance charges. FTX's new CEO, however, John J. Reilly III, testified before the U.S. House of Representatives Financial Service Committee that FTX misappropriated clients' funds. So misappropriated client funds. In other words, withdraw, transfer the funds without the authority of the clients. Big fraud. So next one, back to you, Lily.
Thank you, 007. Well, misappropriation of funds is certainly a very big charge. It's criminal activity. So what is he up to? What will he face from now on? Sam Bankman-Fried looks like he'll be extradited to the US. However, being who he is, he wants to see his charges, his indictment before agree to be extradited. As we all know, he has been arrested in the Bahamas. And now, authorities in Bahamas have held the former FTX CEO in custody since December the 12th. That was when he was arrested. And he was denied bail. Apparently, at that time, the bail then was only $250,000. SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, first appeared in an emergency hearing in the Bahamas District Court on December 19, where he reportedly said he was willing not to object to the process required for extradition to the US, but he wanted to see what he was up to. In the beginning, he sort of admitted to failure to comply to procedures, but he was denying charges of fraud. Okay, it is unclear why former FTX CEO may not oppose extradition. If convicted of all charges, reports suggest that he could face up to 115 years in prison. According to the latest report, he agrees to be extradited to the US, and he his condition of release of bail is $250 million. So it's a huge jump for that amount. Over to you for the next slide, 007.
Yeah, thank you, Lily. Indeed, 115 years in prison. It's a long man, okay? And unless a miracle happens, you won't live that long. So now let's say FTX seeks to claw back donations to politicians and charities. That's very interesting. So FTX intend to commence proceedings in bankruptcy court seeking the return of such monies with interest accruing from the date of the commencement of any proceedings. Recipients should note that the paying or donating to a third party, including charities, any account of any payments received from FXT donors will not prevent the FXT debtors from recovering from the recipient or any subsequent assignees. In criminal charges filed by the state of New York, the Department of Justice alleges that the donations were the results of criminal money laundering because the money was actually withdrawn from customers' accounts. Remember, money was actually withdrawn from the customer's account. Recovering payments to made to politicians and charities can be one of the easy parts of the bankruptcy process. Okay, Lily.
Thank you, 007. I just personally, I wonder why Bankman-Fried has been able to get away for so long. Does his donation to the political parties, both the liberals, both the Democrats and the Democrats and the Republicans, indicate that he has been moving politically to cover his track? That is the questions that float in my mind, because since 2019, okay, so obviously his method of operation does not happen overnight. So I suspect there's a lot of political covering for him as well until it can't be covered anymore.
Yeah.
So let's look at what, as Sam Bankman-Fried headed to US, what they have found in addition. Okay, SBF headed to US and today, and FTX new management told the creditors that they have identified at least 1.22 billion in cash belonging to the bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange. Wow, that's a lot of money. A lot of money for the creditors. If this wasn't identified, I wonder who would this $1.22 billion goes to. Continue on. NBC News reported that SBF has signed the necessary document and agreed to the Voluntary Department of Correction Commission, confirmed that he would fly to his hometown on Wednesday. I believe that is in Palo Alto in California. Once in US custody, SBF can apply for bail, which was denied after he was arrested in the Bahamas on December 12. In the bail, it was requested and denied again. He has held the federal detention center in Brooklyn, New York, which houses detainees awaiting trial. But I believe he has been released. According to the latest report, he has been released on $250 million bail so that he can go back for Christmas, I guess. Yeah. So that's where we are at with the biggest fraud. Do you have any further comments, 007?
Well, yes, I think thank you for the discussion and information. We see. I agree with you. You know why this Hosen's is such a big fraud, such a the backdoor transfer of customers' money without any supervision, and without even the auditors who been fined $1.5 million repeatedly due to due to unprofessional auditing. I think the all we can see is this whole thing is so bizarre and so much money been lost and investors' money. It should have been found earlier. But they said, some reports said that they don't know. A bunch of young people don't know what they're doing. But I don't think so. If you know, I mean, they all have professional consulting team. If you can get 1.15, $2.2 billion from some investors, very smart investors, right? So like sports stars, professional funds, bankers, and so on, they all give you the money. So you must be smarter than them, okay? At least the same equivalent. So that wasn't that error. I think what it is, that, as you said, it is someone, when they see so much money, the human greediness has overcome the rational. They were all very intelligent people, MIT graduates, mathematician, genius, okay, and law and business advisors, the whole family as well. So we wouldn't say. I think it's just one of the cases that demonstrate, okay, if you are violating the rule of law and engage yourself, thinking you're going to be lucky, thinking the people politically is going to protect you to the end, there's no way. Do you know some stage one of these gentlemen was also in maximum custody, was going to be on trial, but then he was murdered in the maximum security while all the camera was switched off, the security guard management that were it's not on duty. This does happens in American maximum security jail. No one can protect you until you get it straight and trying to recover as much money you can and be prepared to serve the sentence of the punishment. All right. This is why we need to have the rule of law for. That's what I want to say. Lily, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to summarize the words of the lawmaker Tom Emmer. Before we move on to Mouse Score's video, Tom Emmer summarized very well that it is certainly with FTX, the FTX of the collapse of FTX, and before that we also have the collapse of Voyagers and other exchanges. Tom Emmer say that there is certainly a lack of regulatory control, and it is a failure of centralized finance. At the same time, it's also a business ethic failure as well. And governments will sort of like, it's always a step behind, catching up on all these business failures, ethic failures, centralized finance areas. And there are also major questions that the current regulatory bodies that are in place, are they doing the job or they are not doing their job? Certainly, I believe it's the latter. So like when you have an exchange that are handling billions of dollars, billions of people's hard-earned money, they have no ethics, they have no control to handle clients' money, and they are just playing with other people's money. So now, if there is such bad exchanges, are there any good ones out there? I believe there are. Let's watch the video from Moscow about Himalaya Exchange.
这个世界上是不是乱干的时候，币安想一统江湖，玩了 FTX，FTX 本身就作恶， 结果他俩互相残杀，然后肯定Coinbase也会一堆的问题，所有的币都有问题啊。特别是马上黑石要倒闭，黑石已经完全不允许人家往外来赎自己的这整个投资了。整个黑石一倒闭，哇，房地产、数字货币、洗钱、比特币咵就下来了。世界上到目前我知道的啊，还有哪一家像洗币一样没做过恶，没有这些风险的？告诉我第二个，告诉我第二个。FTX 不死在币安手里边，他也会死在 Coinbase 手里边；他不死在 Coinbase 里面，他也会死在腐败里面，掺和政治，完全是胡来的。再一个，他动用客户的钱，这帮孙子都是骗子啊！但是赵长鹏替我们把这事提前给清理了，挺好。那小兔崽子叫他一辈子待在监狱待着去吧。赵长鹏最终会被美国给遣返到美国来，肯定的。美国已经现在花大价钱在迪拜，要求把他给弄到美国来。记住，最后赵长鹏一定会在美国监狱坐穿的啊！在他没跑回中共国以前，他回到中共国，下飞机就给弄死个球子了。他帮太多人洗钱了，他没地方去了啊！他只有俩地方啊，一个是直接自己把自己送地狱去，一个来美国坐监狱，就这俩地方，没有第三个地方。
等着币安倒了，FTX 倒了，全人类只有一个是1比1在银行放钱的不动的，只有习联储。啊，我说过那几个条件啊，还有一个，现在大家做好准备啊，劝家人朋友赶快去 KYC， 很快全面的 KYC 啊，多立新的账号，多开新的账号，多下载爱支配，接着都按照这账号有奖励啊，这是关键时刻，多拉朋友，多帮朋友，拜托了，兄弟姐妹们。
Yes, okay. So the world is in a crazy places, okay? And the balance want to dominate the crypto market by looking out the FTX. They end up savaging each other. All cryptos have problems, as Masco said. Blackstone has restricted all redemption of transactions when Blackstone goes bankrupt. Real estate, crypto money laundering, and BTC will collapse like a house of cards. And CZ, or Zhao Changpeng, had helped many people money laundering, and he has nowhere to go but two options. One is send himself to hell, and another is to stay in the US prison, maximum prison. After balance falls, FTX falls, there's only one institution, all mankind, that keeps customers' money in the bank and does not move 1 to 1. Okay, that is Himalaya Exchange. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Helan. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.